welcome along to this new video. And in this video, some of the more eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed something. No, I haven't had my hair cut. It is my Blu-ray shelves are here, literally in the background. Now, what I want to do is I want to take you through a little bit of a brief overlook of these shelves and how they're sort of laid out. What it is, it's these shelves in my bedroom, well, me and my wife's bedroom, and it took a lot of convincing for my wife to accept the fact that this was going to happen. They used to be in the little bedroom, which was overrun, so I said if we put them on one wall, then that's it. This one wall will be the only place where you can find a Blu-ray, and everything else can be put back to normal. So after about 3 months of constant whining on, she eventually relented and let me do this. So I built them around about May last year, and it took about 2 weeks to build. Because we were on holiday at the time, so I came back and I was doing a little bit here and there, and it wasn't hard to put up. And I will go through another video where I tell you how I actually made these shelves up. Now it was quite easy to do, don't get us wrong, and it wasn't very expensive. I think all in all it cost us around about £60 to make, and it meant that I could put every single thing that I wanted on this one shelf and I was done. Now when the shelves are full, as they are at the minute, what I do is I will take, say if there's a film in that's a really, it's just there and it's one I might never ever watch again, I've got it for whatever reason, I'll take that one out, sell it at CEX or whatever it is, because I'll probably get nothing for it, or maybe a bit on eBay, and something more deserving goes in its place. So at the moment I'm full up. Now also there's a lot of DVDs here on the bottom sort of half of the shelves. Now they can be moved on as well. They are just there at the minute. Now the only ones I'll be keeping on DVD are the ones that you can't get anywhere else, or there might have to be a really super version of it, which is something that maybe the sort of the look of it keeps it from, or it's got nostalgic reasons to keep it, but anything's fair game on the DVD front, mostly speaking. So anyway, so I'll take you through a brief outlook on this video, hopefully try to keep it brief. I did do another brief video previously, just before, and it went on forever, so I'm going to now bring it down a little bit and take you through what these shelves are. So these shelves, as you come in, this is on my laptop here, and I'll just show you by moving this around. You come in the door and this whole wall is Blu-rays obviously and DVDs, and they go from ceiling, so watch you don't get vertigo here, they go from ceiling to floor. And if I can get you to see the floor, you can see where, yep, so that's what you're looking at now. Hasn't got a carpet down yet. We were thinking about getting the same company that done our flooring, but for the obvious reason, as in they were the worst company I've ever dealt with, that'll not be happening. So we will get flooring in here, but not at the moment, which is alright by me. Okay, so anyway, back to the shelves, and this is what you face. This is how I've worked the shelf out at the moment. The top, this first block of shelves, is the starting with my arrows. Now these are the arrow, I would say these are the special edition, the box sets. Probably the biggest one goes there, and they go smaller and smaller until they form a sort of till they are more or less all in that block. They're all the same, Oh, I'll tell you what, here's my wife on the phone. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Sorry about that. I just had to cut the video a bit short there because I was just having a conflab with my wife. Okay, so where were we? We were on arrow. Yeah, so the arrow, the big box sets are up there, and they come down to the white boxes, and then you've got your demons there as well. And they go into some slipcase ones. Actually, there's some slipcase ones up there as well. There's a couple there. When the slipcase ones get full, if I get a slipcase one, I'll bring them down to there, move them along. Everything gets moved along like that. Then you've got your regular Amaray cases from the arrow. They go all the way along there as well. And I've tried to keep them, I used to keep them all color coded, but I found that at the moment I put them in sort of things of genres, if the band ones, or if the 80s, or if the comedies, I try to do it that way. Then it comes down to your Arrow Academy ones there. Now that morphs in, I'm saying morphs, it just sort of, the next one after it becomes the Grindhouse releasing, and then you've got a lot of US Blu-rays. This is where I used to keep the likes of my blue, well, there is some Blue Underground ones up there as well. Also there's another Mondo Macabro there, which my Mondo Macabro Blu-ray that I got from my good friend Yuha, who gave that to me as my first ever subscriber mail. That's where that'll get put. And these now go into, in this one, these are all the US ones, and then you go into the 88 slasher collection. Now that's 1 to number 40. Now I know there's a few more, I need to get a few more, so I've got about 2 or 3, or sorry, maybe about 4 to get them put in there. I'm waiting for some of them to come down in price, because usually, even if they have a slip cover, it doesn't really matter, because a lot of them haven't got slip covers. I don't really mind about not having the slip covers on that particular collection. Now these are Arrow slip covers, 88 slip covers, and some of them are really good, some of them are quite collectible actually. There's Creepshow 2 from Arrow, 88, which I would have liked to get the Arrow one, but that just passed us by. Then there's the Arrow, these are the full moon pictures sort of section to it. You know, it's just a grouping of things like Puppet Master, Demonic Toys, that type of thing. I do really like them films. Now next it goes into the Italian classics collection, which I really like. This collection, they continue past here, but I've got slip cases on all of these ones. Now this one here is the box set. Now I would have preferred to have it without the box set, but I did have to have it with the box set. I did want to put these up there to have these before them, but this box set is just a little bit too big to go on that shelves, because some of them are just, you can't put them, they're just millimeters, and they just make them unable to put it in. So that's why I've had to do that round. I mean, it's irrelevant really. Most of this stuff is irrelevant, but to me it's something that can get me nerves a little bit, as I'm sure a lot of collectors with their shelves will say the same thing. So then you go down from there, from 88, you go into, there's some more 88, there's an Italian classics, and they end round about there. There's some more 88 films there, and then it comes into the Hammer section, which goes all the way along there. I've got some premium, the HMV premium titles, but they're in the Hammer. I wouldn't want them to be over there or in a block of premium titles, because I've got a few, but I've kind of dotted them around in the sections that I think they need to be in, because I don't think I would ever collect a lot of them. And also I can live with the fact that they're not all together, because I do like to keep certain ones together. I don't go A, B, C on every one of them. I could do, but it would be a big move of these around, and also it would mean that I would sort of not messy, but yes, I would like to have them together and them together. You know, it's my OCD curse. And there is some shameless Blu-rays. There's also shameless DVD. All the shelves down below now are Blu-ray, DVD. So they're shameless DVDs. Now some of those ones are only available on DVD, but I think things like Killer Nun you can get on an American Arrow release. I think the film's okay, but it's not big enough for me to go and import it from America for big bucks, because I've got it there, and the chances are I might watch it every now and again, so there's no reason for me to sort of upgrade that much. And you've got Arrow DVDs there. You've also got Arrow Drome DVDs, remember them? You've got some Nucleus DVDs, and these are all my horror DVDs down here. Some of these you can't get on Blu-ray, or you might pay a lot of price for them, pay a lot of money on Blu-ray, or some of them I've got just for nostalgic reasons. But if it comes to the point where I've got to get rid of some of these, then I will get rid of some of these, because some of them I've got for no particular purpose really, but they're there, and they're minding their own business. So the next shelf up here, you can see block number 2, the ones up there are my 4K ones that start there, and they go along there, and they also go, then they go down to the next one. Now those 3 there don't have slip covers, but funny enough, when you tie these posts into the wall, you do get a little bit of a bump when you put it next to, you can't really see that here, but those ones stick out a touch. Now I wouldn't want to put a slipcase one next to it because it might scratch, the screws might scratch the disc that's in there, so I want to put an amaret case next to it, and preferably one that I'm not like too keen on, but I wouldn't mind if it got a little bit nipped by the screw mark. So that one there is the one that I got with my 4K player, and it is fantastic. Beast's first film. I never watched it, I probably won't watch it. I'm not that bothered about not getting the slip on it. But next to it I've got the Doctor Who Once Upon a Time 4K, which looks stunning, and it did promise that it was having a slip cover with it, and of course it didn't have one. And the next one is Overload, but everything else apart from Us, which is over there ready to go in the shelves, has a slipcase on. Now the fact is that all of these have got all slipcases on. This is what's making me want to have this whole section in slipcase. If they didn't have slipcases on, then I wouldn't, majority didn't have, then I wouldn't mind. But the fact that it's got a lot of slipcases, I want to keep that going along. Our finishes there, and they go now into the Eureka titles and also BFI titles, and there's a few Eureka ones with slipcases on, not many. There's a couple of Eureka steelbooks as well, and I love me Eureka titles, and I do plan to get a lot more of there. I do think they're a great company. There's a lot of recent titles I'm after, some BFI ones down there and also BFI ones there. Now coming down a touch, my arm's getting tired here. Coming down a touch, it goes into sort of directors after the BFI stuff, and you've got I put all the director stuff together. I could have them dotted around, but sometimes you forget who they are, but you think, if I'm looking for a particular director I really like, I would like to all in the one place. So there's Stanley Kubrick there. There's all my Woody Allen films. Now there's a load of Woody Allen films. There's a few in the Arrow Academy ones. Now rather than put the Arrow Academy ones over there with the other Arrow Academy ones, I've kept them in there with the Woody Allen section. So sometimes, not many Arrow ones vanish from that bit, excuse me, but those ones there need to be in there because that's my Woody Allen section. And then it goes into things like the Coen brothers, David Lynch, also Quentin Tarantino, Jim Jarmusch. So if I ever get a Jim Jarmusch film, it would always go in that section. And Bruce Lee, and also Ben Wheatley, and some John Waters stuff there as well. So that's the end of my, and they're going like Wheatley, Waters, they go into my that would actually the other way around, wouldn't it? Anyway, forget that. They're usually in alphabetical order there in my directors. Now this whole here now is that you've got a couple of Second Sight movie ones there with slipcases, and you've also got a lot of 101 ones there, and they go along to some more 88 ones, but they're Kung Fu ones. So I've managed to, I put them in a different section because they don't really fit in with the horror ones there. So there's a lot of martial art ones which go all the way down to there. I think they go all the way on to round about here actually. So I've got a lot of martial arts films, love martial arts stuff, and even there's a few Jackie Chan ones up there because they're with Eureka titles. It's about, and I know where the stuff is, but some people say, well, that shouldn't be there, but in my mind it should, because it makes more sense. To be honest, there's only me who looks at the shelves anyway. So where are you? Yes, so after my the Kung Fu stuff, it then starts off with my horror films, my regular horror films, you could say. And they go all the way on these shelves, and they end up round about here. And I think that some of them ones are what we'll consider absolute trash of horror, like ghost sharks and all them type of things, and can't think what they're called. That I can't see the titles from here, but they are really rubbish. But I love them for some reason, so they're definitely part. Zombievers as well, which is a classic. I feel Swamp Shark. The sort of underground. They're just things that you get from Poundland for next to out, or even CEX. But for some reason, I really like them films. And then it goes into it's regular films, and so then you get the DVDs. So once they finish there, and they run out of space for them because you fill up, and then you push these ones out, then they go up to this shelf here. Then they start, well, actually at the start of here, I've got all my Blu Rays. Sorry, I'm pointing at nothing there. I've got my Blu Rays which sorry, my music videos, which are all there, music Blu-rays, and they go along to there. And then whatever that finishes down here, which I think at the moment is around about D or C, they start up there, and then they go C, D, E, F, G, H. Get to the Godzilla ones there, which is the ones that I took out of my Godzilla Criterion collection, and I put into these like sort of homemade boxes, so I could just get them at my leisure, which I'll prefer to do rather than going into my Criterion box set and take them out of the cardboard case, which was meant that they might get scratched all the time it's going out. So really, when I got it, I've only took them out once to put them in here, so they should be in pristine condition, which is the way I like to keep them. I like the fact of the Godzilla box set being the way it is, and I know they've got in a box set they usually do keep these they have to have them like that, because they can come out the Amaray cases and sort of fly all over the place and get really badly scratched. But still, once I've got them, I like to take them out if I can. I don't have many box sets like that for that reason. So yes, they just go alphabetically, all for my regular films. And excuse my big massive fingers in the lens. And it comes down here to the holding shelves. This is the sort of overfill thing. They're filled up now, but when I get more films, they'll come in there, and the stuff from there, I look and see what's in the holding shelf, and there's maybe some utter dross in there, and they can go out and just fill up. So once they are totally full, I will then move on to my DVD shelves, and then I can move the stuff off the DVD shelves. Now that the DVD shelves are usually with regular films. There's also TV series. There's some action stuff over there. There's some really good films, but you can maybe only get them on Blu-ray. And if you try to get them on anything that was like a special edition or a Blu-ray, anything like that, you couldn't find them, or it's just not worth the jump up. And some of them might be expensive, but there might be nothing on DVD. So I'm quite willing to keep those ones on DVD at the moment. And you've got your TV series there. You've also got, I think that's the section that I took off there. Well, I want to put my hand. And this is that's like Lord of the Rings, Batman, Buster Keaton, Universal Horror. You've got Criterion going along there, indicators, stuff like that. You've got a few rogue DVDs, because behind there's a plug, so I need to have a section I can just take out when you want to plug something in, because this is the only plug in the room, believe it or not. I blame the people who had the house before us. I think they were a big bunch of cowboys, but never mind. And yeah, so it goes to the floor. My wife's stuff is down there. So my wife said, as soon as I need to take that stuff, I can not get rid of it, but I can put it somewhere else, probably in the garage. My wife's not that proud of having the stuff here, but she does like the thought of being able to get her hands on it quite quickly. Now, if you come along here, you can see a lot of box sets and stuff like that, and TV things. And you can also see right at the bottom here, you can see Doctor Who. Now this goes from, we've got a big box set there of the Christopher Eccleston series. I got that from his son when he used to enjoy Doctor Who. I don't think he likes it anymore. And that's David Tennant. I think these were both his, and I took them out of his collection because he just wasn't interested. So I've got ones here that start from probably the first ever Doctor Who, and then I go when the first Doctor Who transforms, regenerates into the second Doctor Who. I'll probably have the episodes from that. I've got loads of the Tom Baker ones. The Tom Baker is my favourite Doctor Who, and that's the ones I want to keep into. And the other ones that I collect is when Doctor Who has a lot of Doctor Who's in the same episode. When you have multiple Doctors, I really, really enjoy them ones. In fact, some of my favourite TV is the fact of having two Doctor Who's and how they navigate each other and what happens, and you can get some really quite emotional stories from that, believe it or not. And when I was telling when I was telling my wife one day about the fact of how moving the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who was, because of the fact they were all together and they were talking about the whole, not going to any spoilers, but the whole, who was who and where they were in space and time. I was thinking, wow, this is pretty heavy, this. And she was thinking, you know, it's only Doctor Who, but, you know, if it gets you, it gets you. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, so that's the shelves. That's a quick overview of the shelves. I'm sitting on a sort of footstool that I use to get on the shelves. Now, believe it or not, I mean, I'm a regular size. I mean, I'm 6'6", and I need a shelf to get. I need this to get to my. So if I want to get a 4K out of there, I either need to get a trampoline or get a stool, which I'm sitting on now. Yes. So if you would like to see more videos with this as a backdrop, I don't think I can do all my videos in here because some of them will be, the action comics. They might not work in here. They might be too distracted here, and I might not have enough space to get them out. So some of them might have to be on the TV. The dinner table downstairs, the dining table, and also I know my good friend Ivor Bacon likes to see the cupboard behind us. He always comments about my cupboard, the brown cupboard, that's in most of it's sort of like a co-star in most of my episodes. So if you would like to see more, if you would like to see me do more updates and things here, then that's no problem at all. Just let me know in the comments down below if you think this is a good backdrop for me to be here. Would you prefer this backdrop? The lighting here is good, so that's all good to go. Now, so before I end the video, I want to tell you about, give you a quick heads up here. I was at HMV briefly today, and I found that they had a sale on, which I didn't know anything about, and it is 2 4Ks for £20. Now, I know there's 2 4Ks for £30. I was actually going to pick up 2 of the Star Wars 4Ks, the early Star Wars, the best Star Wars on 4K, but I didn't, because I saw this deal on 2 for £20. So I've been after this one here for life. I got that in Poundland for £2, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought I'll get that on 4K. I don't know if the uptick will be good on it, but I thought what I'll do is I'll get one if I can get it cheap off eBay. So I've been watching them on eBay, and they've not been cheap enough. They've already been about the £15 mark, which isn't too bad. But I thought there might not be too much of an improvement on there, so I've got to get it as cheap as I can, and hopefully with a slipcover. So I saw this, and I needed another one to go with it. So yes, I did pick up in the 2 for £20 the 4K of Life. Now that means that this version of Life will now be out to do whatever it does, and this one here is going to go up in the shelves, and that's just a straightforward 1 in 1 out, so that's easy to maneuver. You just put them around one and it's all done. So that'll be going in there. Also got a few other ones to put in, but I had to get another one with it, and I looked around because this is only Sony Pictures that it's on mind, this sale. It could have done with another one, some really old ones that I was after, but I do find that most of the Sony Picture ones that I want I've actually got. A lot of the ones, there's a couple ones I would have picked up that had no slipcovers on. So the only one that I wanted, the best one that had a slip cover on, I was tempted to go for Spider-Man, but I just thought, well, I've seen it loads of times, the Tobey Maguire one, and I thought, well, is it something that I really would watch again? Although I do quite like me Marvel 4Ks. So anyway, I settled on this one, which is Groundhog Day. Now, I haven't seen this one since it's come out. I remember watching it. I remember thinking it was okay. I'm going to watch it and see what I think about it, because for it meant that I can get that for £10 and also get this for £10. I might really enjoy it again. I don't know. The picture quality might be great. It might be absolutely abysmal. Well, it won't be absolutely abysmal, but you know what I mean. Sony Pictures are quite good for their 4K presentations. So I just want to give you the heads up that if you will go down in HMV soon, I don't know how long it's going to go on for, that you'll get 2 Sony Picture 4Ks for £20, 2 for £20, and there's also a few selected ones that are like $5.99, $6.99 each of the Sony Picture ones as well. Okay, so I just want to give you that heads up. I was quite impressed to see them, quite impressed. I was quite happy to see them. Right, so I'll end this one there. So let me know what you think about these shelves. Is this something you would like to see in the background from now on, or in most of the videos? or do you think it's off-putting? It's entirely up to you to leave a comment and see what you make of it. Also, if you like this video, please please subscribe. It's free. You know, it doesn't cost you now, and that's what I like. I like to get stuff for free. Why not? That's what it's all about. Cheap and cheerful. So, on that note, I will see you in the next video. You take care, and thanks for watching.